Okay, so I actually have no idea what the secret meeting is, so real-time reaction. Oh, my voice. I'm slightly sick as I'm recording this, so it's going fantastic. Yeah, we'll see what the secret meeting is. I have to keep my voice a lower octave. It is with, oh my fucking god, are you serious? What? Oh my god. Really? Oh. I mean, if they're offer, oh my gosh, my voice. I need to lower octave me, lower octave. Yeah, I mean, if they're offering, I am intrigued. I am very intrigued, but I'm sure I would replace Antonelli instead of Russell, unless they're not planning to have Russell for the rest of at some point, but this is, you know what? We'll continue. I am very intrigued.
Been
Oh my...
scouring the socials and asking around, and I'm delighted to say that the team are none the wiser about us chatting with anyone else.
Yes!
And the meeting went well, too. I know. I'm amazing.
Sweet.
You're welcome.
I do forget, I think there is a chance if you continue long enough that there is a chance they will, that your team will find out and they will not be happy about it, so. Okay, interesting. A meeting with Mercedes for 2026, perhaps? Oh god, I forgot the save is coming up. Oh no. Oh, I forgot. As I'm recording this part, just so I can add this in for no reason, as I'm recording this part, January 15th, I do not know. This is the same day as the Red Bull release. I don't know what the Red Bull car looks like. This is at like midnight for my time, so I don't know what the Red Bull car looks like. VO me will have a different idea, so we'll see. But real-time me right now, yeah, I don't know when the 2026 save is going to come out, or expansion, DLC, whatever. Maybe sometime in March, considering how the recent PR thing went, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling, and I'm going to get on through to Japan. Well, welcome to Japan, and in case you happen to look at the chapters and the entire portion of, you know, the thumbnail and the title, which I don't even know what I'm pulling at yet, Japan doesn't go well, and I'll explain why here. But first, as per usual, I'm going to show my qualifying lap, as I usually do. Still on 100% AI, 100% AI, 105 AI, I meant to say. So nothing has changed in between now and the Shanghai race, where the only thing that I noticed is that I am quite slow in comparison to the AI here at Japan of all tracks. Singapore, I'm usually about like 10 difficulty score, or whatever you want to call it, 10% something. I usually have to lower it by 10, so I'm actually competitive at Singapore in the F1 games. So I'm very surprised that Japan is one of those tracks that I either just didn't mesh with the setup, or I may have to just lower the difficulty a little bit, but doesn't really go too well. The thing that you're not going to be seeing is that I have done multiple attempts as well of a, not exactly the qualifying run, but I'll explain here once we get to the race in a second. That would be track limits in real life, and that is pretty much normal right there, luckily, but, oops. So you can see me looking back, not for any particular reason, that's just muscle memory. At the point of playing these games, after playing them for so long, it's like, well, I have to look back at a certain point once I'm like done focusing, I have to see if there's anyone behind me, and I just do that automatically. But we will come across the final chicane, and it's not going to be spectacular. I'm already calling it now for you. Across the start-finish line, we go from 20th up to literally nowhere. We go to 19th, so it's the same as before. Now, I'm skipping the race introduction and the opening laps, etc., 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 and I will show you why. You can see that I am about 6 seconds back already from Colapinto. I didn't spin. This is on pure pace, and I've done multiple restarts of the race for this particular reason. I tried messing with differential. This is why, whatever reason, my tire temperatures have skyrocketed, and I don't get why. The AI are not affected by this for any reason, because of course they fucking aren't. this. God forbid you program, you know, a physics simulation for the AI, because that's too easy, apparently. So I struggled with this for, I think, about an hour or 45 minutes. So after all of this, I decide, you know what, I'm just going to park up and just retire from this race, because I even pumped up the tire pressures too. I'm not saying which ones in case I do get back into league racing, because I might not change the setup. I don't know yet, but I do come into pit road, and I do just retire from the session. So second retirement that I've manually done in my career. The first one was Hungary in Formula 2. I think I did a third one, but it might be the only two. Not sure why it would still go through the pit stop cycle, but it'll let me go. It's also raining under the bridge now that I see that. That's just weird. But Verstappen has won the race, because of course he has. It's Max Verstappen in Japan. I'm not really surprised, especially considering how well he did in real life in 2023. So not much of a surprise, all things considered. I would have loved to actually give a shot at Japan. My only guess is after this race, I will say, after Japan, I did lower the difficulty back to 100. So we will go through the celebrations as per usual, because I wanted to see who was on the podium, just for fun. And, oh look, it's Piastri and Norris. Fascinating. I feel like I've seen this somewhere before. Interesting. Where have I seen this one? Yeah, Verstappen wins, Norris P2, Piastri P3. I don't know why I left the sequence in. Nope, there we go. Okay, I did skip it. I was about to say, it's going on uncomfortably long. So here's the top 10. Isaac Hadjar somehow gets 7th. I don't know why or how, but oh well. So we move on to Bahrain, where I had much better luck. Partially because I lowered the difficulty to back down to 100 where I'm more comfortable. I might be at an in-between. I might be at like 103. I haven't tried that out yet. Bahrain was the very last race I recorded up until this point, so I've not done any more races past this, past the opening 4. So I don't know how things will fare, but under the lights here at Bahrain, the one thing I've noticed coming from F123 moving to F125 is that, damn, the night lighting has actually gotten better. It's less foggy at night. Like, the lights still light up the track, which is good, but the bloom or the fog in the air basically like is a lot less apparent, and it looks so much better in my opinion. I can't wait to see the glossy cars of 2026 under the lights. It's going to be so pretty. I am so excited for that. I don't know if I might have to make a new save, so we'll see how that goes in the future, but still a lot of excitement, all things considered. I did bring up in the last video, by the time you see this, I probably would have made one by now, the ranking of the 2026 liveries. I still haven't made that yet, because I don't know when I'm making that video slash podcast, so probably at some point in between me recording these. It is now the 26th still as I'm recording this video, so I love dating things, just to get a perspective to everyone else of how far I record this in advance for once. Anyway, a little bit of a bobble bleeds me about a tenth of a second there off the final corner. Somehow Bortoleto has caught up with me, and with that run we go to P20, so I turned down the difficulty after that.
We're here again then at a famous circuit for its stunning visuals and thrilling battles for glory. Who will take the spotlight in the Bahrain Grand Prix today? We'll be racing around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit today. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left down into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he will start from pole position. And it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Piastri, Russell, Fernando Alonso, and Tsunoda, Hadjar, Ocon, Verstappen, and Pierre Gasly, Bortoleto, Behrman, Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Stroll, Colapinto, Sainz, Nico Hülkenberg, and Andrea Kimi Antonelli. Frostbite, and Alex Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway.
And we are down and away from P19 on the grid, starting on the soft tires. I'm going for a different strategy. The recommended strategy is basically mediums and softs. I decide that's not going to be the most viable option. Actually run straight into the back of Lance Stroll because A, of course, and 2, the entire field just stacks up in front of us. So by this point, I misspoke a little bit earlier. I know I'm recording this all in the same session, basically. Could I redo it? Sure. Am I going to? No. But I changed the difficulty after qualifying, more specifically, because I figured I was a little bit in over my head in terms of seeing where I was with the difficulty. We do manage to sneak by to the left-hand side of Gabriel Bortoleto, and we move up into P13, back to relatively where we belong. And Hajar and Stroll would be battling side by side amongst each other, going into the final corner, and we have to slow up a lot here. But DRS is enabled this lap, so we will have DRS of somebody in front of us. And whether it's going to be Stroll or Hajar, well, it might be both of them. I'm deciding to back out because I saw Stroll is going to make it almost 3 wide. We have DRS. I'll go around the outside, switch back to the inside. Shades of Shanghai once again as we sneak around the outside of Isaac Hajar, and we don't even look back. We just gun it. We just go for it. Trying to catch up, back up to P10 and get some points. We do end up locking the left front, going wide a little bit, but Stroll not able to capitalize, and we will remain in P11 for the next lap or so. And over the course of that next lap, we catch up to Esteban Ocon, who we will very quickly dispatch of. Seeing some very familiar names around our positions here as we continue running these races more and more through the season. We see Ocon, Sainz, Hamilton, shockingly, is having a quite literal flip-flop performance, which is a little terrifying. He's on the podium for the first 2 races, if I remember correctly, definitely Melbourne. But he is sitting here in P9. Leclerc had a lot of bad luck in Shanghai. He started 18th and he just didn't go anywhere in a Ferrari, keep in mind. And we get stuck behind Esteban Ocon for quite a few sequence of corners up until the last corner. So this time, we'll go ahead and open the DRS as per usual, since we are in DRS range. And Ocon luckily has nothing to fight with, so we will look to the left-hand side, dive to the right-hand side, but we're going to play a couple DRS games here. We're going to stick behind just a little bit, then put the nose in, and he turns in on us, so I don't know why he wasn't really expecting us to turn in. So Ocon, with a huge slide through turn 4, somehow doesn't spin or lose any momentum. Really hope that's a thing that's adjusted for F127, because the element is there. It's just a shame that the cars actually don't step out for the AI, because it really should. If I got that loose, if I got that sideways, I would have lost momentum. I would not be in front of another car, that's for sure. But we very aggravatingly stay behind Ocon for another lap or so, up until turn 1 once again. And this is how the opening laps went for us, ever so slightly. Hajar on hard tires, keep in mind, so on completely 2 different strategies, as we will finally dispatch of Ocon, who tries to go defensive, and we just stick with the middle lane here, going into turn number, I think, 4. Ocon tries to get alongside us, actually brushes up against our side pod, luckily doesn't damage the car, so we managed to set sail over the next lap or so. We're just up ahead. It's Gasly and Verstappen battling side by side for P7, with Hamilton directly behind them. Somehow Gasly is, again, dragging the Alpine up the order way more than I thought, so I'm kind of half regretting not joining Gasly at Alpine, considering, well, we are in the Racing Bulls, but we might be leaving the Alpine Academy in the sense of going to Mercedes for 2026. Maybe, we don't know. We have not signed a contract or anything of the sort as of yet. I don't even know how the 2026 save will affect, or the 2026 update will affect the game saves and everything. So hopefully it's intact. We'll see. But in the meantime, Gasly is going to stick with Hamilton and Verstappen. In fact, Gasly's going to go for the move on Hamilton into turn number 1. Again, just weird sentences I never thought I would say as a flash of hybrid recharge shows up on the Alpine, but he will go for it here. Hamilton goes defensive. Gasly doesn't really make a move here. I feel like he should have. I hope that's another thing with the AI that gets fixed, is passing logic, where, come on, there's a gap there. It's either that or you visibly back out. But all of that being said, we go back to the main straight. Gasly, of course, will have DRS this time by on the front straight. Do we decide to deploy battery? Well, no, we do have the overspeed, just ever so slightly. Do we decide to go for it? We look to the right-hand side, we'll get DRS off of Hamilton, technically off of Gasly with that detection point there on corner entry. We go as defensive as we can, a little bit unintentionally, but we do have DRS, and we will deploy ERS to get away from Gasly and catch up to Hamilton, because I know a sizable amount of points is on hand for us compared to Isaac Hajar right now. And my goal, at least at the end of the season, headcanon, personally, is to finish ahead of Hajar in the points. And we look to be doing that right now, as we'll just decide to back out here, play a few more DRS games, and look at that line behind. I think that's Leclerc, actually. I genuinely forgot. I didn't see what car it was. Could I have made a note of it? Sure. But, hey, look, a useless objective. Anyway, we're passing by Hamilton. I'm going to argue that the MFG popping up for that distracted me, and that's why I lost the position. Technically, I also did overshoot the corner anyway, and I wasn't going to make it. But kind of unnecessary, a very unnecessary objective when I don't have a pattern of the engine heating up above 137 Celsius. I think on average it's like 135 at the most, so we move on regardless to a few laps later to where Hamilton eventually got by Tsunoda in the little group, trying to get ahead of me, or trying to stay ahead of me, I should say. And interestingly, Alonso's up here too. Has anyone told him that he is in an Aston Martin and not the 2006 Renault? No? No one? Alright, maybe that's why he's so far up the grid. But we do catch up to the end of the group, and Alonso's going to be the one to lead them through, as we'll cut to the final corner where Tsunoda is making a pass on Hamilton before the DRS line. Before even the pit straight. I think Tsunoda actually locked up just a little bit. They definitely made some sort of contact, because that brings both of them back to me. The entire field, the normalized performance of these cars have definitely been shuffled a little bit more. And here comes Pierre Gasly to join in on this battle. We are nearly going to run to the back of Hamilton. I thought about hitting the throttle a little bit more to get around the outside, but we weren't going to have anything there. So it's Hamilton and Tsunoda side by side. We're kind of sitting behind. I'm laying back a little bit. Decide, you know what? I see a gap here. We're going to go for it. We make it 3 wide into turn 4. We are mere meters just behind the next 3, as Tsunoda is not backing out in his battle. We hit his side pod twice. Tsunoda really wants to try and say, hey, I can get ahead of Hamilton. Just let me. But that costs him a little bit of damage in the side pod, that's for sure. I don't know by how much, but definitely a little bit, and in my opinion, not very worthy of a Red Bull driver. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It would be nice to be in the Red Bull seat, maybe next season. We'll see. But we stick with Tsunoda and Hamilton. Gasly sticking with us in the meantime. Antonelli has dropped off the battle quite a lot, but he's still in line for a potential top 10 if the race shakes out in his favor. So we skip ahead towards the pit straight once again, as of course we complete the objective of staying below 137 Celsius, because it's just painfully easy. I mean, come on, it's busy work. As we just lunge on Tsunoda at the very last second, we have the overspeed. Tsunoda's going to try and come back at us, makes contact, but we have the DRS, and we will go ahead and at least try to get by Tsunoda, who also has DRS off of Hamilton. We go a little defensive, and we'll give Tsunoda the outside lane, because we will have the preferred lane here on the inside. And that makes us now puts us now successfully in the P8. There's no good way to complete that sentence, I don't think. But the battle is not over yet, because there is a yellow flag just up ahead of us, and that is Max Verstappen, who has fallen off and out of the points, shockingly enough. That is 2 mistakes in the last 3 races for Verstappen. I don't know what happened. As the safety car gets deployed again for Verstappen. That's the 2nd time that he has triggered a safety car. If it did trigger one in Japan, I don't know, to be honest. So we will move on to pit stops here.
Okay, we're more or less into the pit window now. If you want fresh rubber during the safety car, we're ready for you. Got that confirmed. Copy that, hard, next time we box.
And so we decided to go for hard tires. The original strategy called for medium tires, and I decided to go with medium tires here on the way to pit entry. But I decided, you know what, we'll stick with hard tires because we're going to be in the middle of the race. So we can go soft medium, or soft hard medium, or soft medium soft, depending on how the race plays out in our favor. So we will go ahead and switch with the hard tires, stick with that decision for a little bit. But considering that everybody else around me is coming out with soft tires, that's a little bit of a concern, but I'm playing the long game here intentionally. And we come out in P6 ahead of Hamilton, very crucially. And we are on the back of Alonso, who is P5 in an Aston Martin. What is happening with the performance scaling?
Okay, let's get ready to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap. When the field accelerates, remember there's no overtaking until the timing line. Safety car in this lap.
Well, you heard it from the engineer. You see it on the screen. Safety car in this lap. I am trying to do everything that I can to get these tires warmed up.
3.3 seconds. They're on fresh soft.
And that tells me everything I need to know that Hajar is on soft tires.
02.1.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. It's going to be a very, very long game, but we're going to go for it here. As the restart is underway, we have to hold off here. Now we go for it with Alonso, maybe a few meters of an overlap, but we'll just look past that a little bit. As we are now in the back of Lando Norris, and we go now to the back of George Russell. It's Leclerc, Piastri, Russell, and now us in the Racing Bull, ahead of Norris, ahead of Alonso. They're battling for P2 just up ahead, but I am somehow, at least at the moment, in very prime position for a potential podium. At least a very good point scoring day, realistically speaking. We have the flashes of pace, probably much like what Gasly had in Shanghai, where he's also had flashes of pace. He finished P4. Could we do the same thing a little bit later on at the end of this race? With a corner exit like that? No, not really. So Norris is very understandably going to get alongside and past us. I am not fighting this. Alonso is going to fight. He's got a lot of overspeed here. He's going to use the battery. Here comes Lewis Hamilton as well. He's going to make it 3 wide, potentially between those 3 in front of us. I decide it's a very safe option to back out. I don't know which one of them isn't going to have DRS out of all of these 3. They all make some form of minor contact, and we just barely sneak around the left-hand side of Lando Norris as we are absolutely fighting tooth and nail for P5. Very cleanly fighting for P5, but we are still just making it known that we have the pace, that we have the skill set, I should say, to battle in this car, to battle within the top 5. Maybe this is why Mercedes are so interested in us, because I don't see George Russell anywhere up here. I don't see Kimi Antonelli anywhere up here. And neither of the Red Bulls are up here either. So we are definitely making it known for at least the 2026 season that even if the new regulations kick in, we have a lot of we have a lot of driving skill under our belt. As we focus on up ahead, and we go a little bit wide, a little bit loose, and we have a train of cars behind us. And that is a message that I'd rather not be hearing at this time, preferably at all. You can see me flipping through the MFD manually just to see if we have anything. I'm taking it very easy into the last corner so I don't overshoot like I did the last time by. And interestingly, Hamilton and Norris are battling side by side. You can see me weaving because my right front is not up to proper temperature. So I'm mentally noting that for myself the next time we go to Bahrain. But my right front temperature is not up to temperature here. My right front temperature is not up to temperature. My right front tire is not up to temperature. There we go. Hamilton gets by us in turn 1, which gives us DRS. So we are going to just go for it while we still have the chance. A few laps later, Hamilton, though, will be getting by us. We have the very dumb objective of staying ahead of Hamilton. And, yeah, we're sitting duck, so that's not exactly going to happen. Hamilton gets by us, but we are not going to fight it. It is not worthy of fighting. Norris, interestingly, has fallen now to P8 behind Pierre Gasly in the Alpine. But again, we are in line for potentially outscoring or out-finishing Gasly, at least tying Gasly's best finish with Alpine. So we'll see how things go. I decide now we have another DRS zone ahead of us. We'll get by Hamilton there. And as it turns out, we won't really get by Hamilton. Take it away, me, at the time of recording.
Okay, looks like a mechanical failure. We're going to have to ask you to find a safe spot to retire. Sorry about that, mate. Find somewhere safe to stop. We need you to retire.
Man, I really can't catch a fucking break, can I? Didn't even pull in the pit road, really? God damn it. Well, back to VO me, I guess, but fuck, man. Ooh, that does not sound good. I hope Hajar also has an issue, but probably not. Also, could have just pulled in pit road. I was going to, but then it didn't let me, so. Yay.
So much to talk about. We will continue to do so. But first, it is time for the podium. And there can only be one on the top step. Today, his name is Charles Leclerc.
And that does it for an early race in Bahrain, unfortunately. Hajar does fall at least 7 positions from P7 to not scoring any points versus the fact that, well, we could have scored points. We started P19, we were working our way up through the field, and, well, we saw how that went. So we go ahead and focus on, first of all, saving the race replay as per usual, and we go ahead and focus on the standings as we head into the next race. 8 points for Isaac Hajar. We're at 3. We could overtake him well before the end of the season. We're technically fighting for P11 in the driver's standings. As the team standings come up, we still have a shot with fighting Alpine, but we still have to defend from Williams.